Hi, Ron here again. Today we're going to start actually figuring out how to sell Healy on the internet. And what we're going to talk about today is useful whether you decide to do traditional network marketing or internet marketing, either one. So the first thing is that you have to decide what you're going to sell. And one option we talked about is that you're selling only the product. And the product is the Healy Editions and the Healy Watch and the monthly app, Search, Nutritional Analysis, and Connect. And if you want to, you can make pretty decent money just selling those, and that's it. But you can also sell the Healy Opportunity. You just have to make a decision. What are you going to do? But I want to tell you, there's a big shock. Right now, whoever you talk to, and whatever you talk to them about, whether it's the product or the opportunity, there's nobody really interested in Healy. Yeah, people are finding out about it slowly. But today, very few people are going and, for example, looking on the internet to find out about Healy. So how are you going to talk to them? What are you going to talk to them about? We'll address that in just a minute. The key here is once you decide what you're going to do and what you're going to sell, what you've got to do is to wrap the sales offer from Healy in your own unique offer, what we call your heroic identity, and make it something special for the people that you're going to talk to. And we said that there are 3 simple ways to do that. You can make it special for you by your friendship. People will buy just because they like you. You can make it special because of a service that you provide. Maybe you give consulting about how to use the Healy. Maybe you give clinical consulting. You can offer additional products. For example, an ebook about how to most effectively use your Healy. All of those increase the value of what Healy is selling by wrapping them in your personal, unique offer. And there are really 2 strategies for how you're going to talk to people and deliver your unique offer and your unique message. The first strategy is more the traditional network marketing strategy, and we're looking at that here. You've got your offer, you've got yourself, and you've got your list of contacts and your friends and your family. And so what you end up doing is you get the Healy offer and keep it in your mind, but then as you're talking to each individual person, you adjust it. So, for example, you're talking to your Uncle Joe, and you know that Joe has a knee problem, and so you talk to him how Healy can help his knee problem. In the same way, you have the Healy offer in mind, the basic offer, and you know that Mary has trouble sleeping. So when you talk to Mary, you talk about her sleep problems and how Healy can help that. As you go through the quick start, where you're dealing with your best friends and your family and your best contacts, this is a strategy that you're going to use. And this is a strategy that's used in all network marketing. So if you decide to go on and do more and more network marketing in the traditional way, that's a strategy that you're going to use. But if you decide you're going to work on the internet and really use the internet to build your business, there's a totally different strategy. And that strategy is based on the fact that there are millions and millions and millions of potential Healy buyers that are using the internet every day. How do you find them? How do you address them? You certainly can't adjust your message for every single person that's out there on the internet. It just doesn't work. So what you have to do is you have to identify what we call your perfect audience. Those are the people that you really, really want to work with and that you really, really want to find. And once you've found that perfect audience, you have to send them a consistent message. Now, the difference here is that it's a one-time message. It's a message that you've really thought out, that you know exactly what you're going to say. It addresses exactly what their needs are, and it helps make the sale. Do you see the difference in strategy here? In one, you have kind of a generic message, and really Healy is providing that to you. And then you adjust that depending on the person that you're talking to. That's worked throughout the history of network marketing. In the internet, it's different. You find something that will attract your ideal perfect audience, and you send them a well-crafted, perfectly developed message. So let's begin our journey doing network marketing with the internet. If you're going to sell the Healy product and/or opportunity, and you're going to wrap that in your own personal offer, there's two ways of easily doing that on the internet. The first thing to do is to have a pre-offer that's mainly designed to get your perfect market to you. And we'll talk about exactly how to do that later. But the second possibility is to offer something that increases the value of the Healy products to the people that you sell Healys to. For example, your personal clinical consultation. That's something that Healy can't offer. That's something nobody else can offer. Only you can offer that, and that increases your personal offer, your heroic identity. So you can do something pre-sales to help get and refine your perfect audience. And you can do something post-sales to help the people you sell Healy to, whether it's the product or opportunity, use their purchase more effectively. It's important to understand when you start dealing with marketing on a mass scale that people buy things based on three fundamental core markets: health, wealth, and relationships. Everything people buy fits into those categories. When you buy groceries, you're talking about health. When you buy a course, you're probably talking about wealth. When you buy cosmetics, you're probably talking about relationships. No matter what it is, it fits into one of these three categories. And if you look at Healy, they address two of those core markets, health and wealth. The thing about the internet is that it's very difficult to market wealth because Google and Facebook place a lot of restrictions on what you can do about advertising things like MLM. So right away, I want you to think that what you're going to do is, first of all, to make an offer related to health, and then later make an offer related to wealth. And that's exactly what Healy recommends that you do. Get them hooked on the product, and then get them hooked on the opportunity. And it's important to understand that when you're selling, like I said, nobody's interested in Healy today. So what you're really selling is not Healy. What you're really selling is health by means of the Healy. What you're really selling is not the Healy opportunity. You're selling wealth by means of the Healy opportunity. Be really clear about that, because it's important to know what your audience wants to buy. They don't want to buy the Healy, they want to buy health. They don't want to buy the Healy business, they want to buy wealth. And that means that there are just a few really fundamental things you need to understand before you start selling on the internet. And a lot of these really apply to even selling face-to-face. But on the internet, it's important to understand that there are billions of people using the internet. And you don't need to create traffic that's interested in health. It's already there. You just need to figure out how to get them from where they are already to where you are. Let me say that again. The people who are going to be interested in what you're saying are already out on the internet. And you just need to figure out how to get them to you. Yeah, we're going to show you strategies for how to do that. The other thing is that fundamentally you're selling to 3 different audiences. The first one is people who are going to be interested in your product. So those are the people who want to buy health by means of the Healy. The second group are people who are interested in the opportunity. And those are the people that want to buy wealth by means of the Healy opportunity. And there's really a third group, and that's people who are interested in a particular lifestyle. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, maybe they're interested in being able to do things that they couldn't do before. They weren't able to go out on hikes, and they want to go hiking. Or they weren't able to even get out of the house, and now they want to be able to have an active lifestyle. On the other side of the coin, on the opportunity side, it can be people who are interested in having a fancy car or a great house. So those are really lifestyle kind of issues. But remember, you're selling, again, lifestyle by means of the Healy opportunity. Product, opportunity, and lifestyle. The 3 core audiences. And there are so many people in each of those audiences on the internet that you can't sell them. It's too broad. There are too many people. And what you have to do is narrow them down into sub-audiences and then down into niches. And you may have heard that word before. What's your target niche? Well, you've got to figure that out. According to Healy, people need to be positive about the product before they get interested in either the opportunity or the lifestyle. That's really nice because with the restrictions that both Google and Facebook place on selling opportunity, sell them the product first. But whatever you do, whether you're selling the product, the opportunity, or the lifestyle, you always have to start the marketing sales funnel. Start your marketing message by talking to one audience at a time, never more than one. You don't want to confuse people. You want to give them a clear message and ask them to take a clear call to action, and that's how you're going to sell. I remember network marketing meetings that I've been at where the first thing they did was talk about their product. And at the end of that presentation, they said, okay, those of you who want the product, go to the back of the room and you can buy it. Those of you who want to find out about how to make a business out of this, stick around and we're going to tell you some more. So they transitioned. They dealt with first the people interested in the product, then they transitioned and dealt with the people who are interested in the business. It was almost like having 2 different meetings. The important thing is that you can only talk to one audience at a time. Anything else will just confuse people, and people that are confused never take action. Never. Now, when you pick your audience and the niche, you've got to be totally aware of who you're talking to. And the way you do that is by creating a customer avatar. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. That's what the rest of this whole presentation is going to be about. And also pick your audience and niche based on what excites you personally, and master selling to that niche before you move to others. Why is that? Because the most important thing in getting people to buy something is conveying your emotional enthusiasm for it. If you're excited about it, you can get them excited about it. So pick your audience and niche based on what excites you, what really turns you on about the Healy product. And you're going to start selling, and people are going to convey that emotion. And people are going to get that emotion. And people are going to get that emotion. And no matter how you sell, whether you sell by talking to people one-to-one or by talking to them on the website, the key is that you've got to get them to engage. What does that mean when it comes to talking to them on the phone? That means they got to answer the phone. If they don't answer the phone, they're not going to engage. That means that when you talk to them, you've got to say something that's going to hook them enough to where they'll engage with you and talk to you on the phone. Otherwise, they'll never buy. Well, you've got to do the same thing on the internet. You've got to figure out, how do I get them to engage? How do I get them to say yes on the internet? And we'll show you very specific techniques for how to do that. So first of all, let's look at people who are interested in the product. Healy is 95% product driven. That's amazing when you think about it. Once they try the Healy, they're convinced about the Healy and they're ready to buy it and move forward. And remember, health is one of 3 core markets. So you can be very effective in selling health by means of the Healy. And the beauty about the product is that you can make a ton of money selling just the Healy products. For example, you can make enough by selling 1 Healy resonance a month to make a car payment. Think about that. Convince 1 person to buy a Healy and you've got your car paid for. By selling 1 a week, you can have your house paid for. Think about that. That's incredible. So it's not like you have to go out and sell 1 million of these things in order to make some decent money. What would a couple $1,000s a month mean for you personally? Just by selling the product. Not even worrying about building a big downline and all of that. Just by selling the product. And the thing about the product is that your own experience with the product really makes it pretty easy to sell the Healy. Because why? You have enthusiasm. You're excited about the product. It did something for you. This is the same thing that you would tell them whether you are on the internet or talking face to face. And 96% of the people, I've heard 94, I've heard 96, but it's a huge number, are really excited about the Healy after they've tried it, and they're ready to share it. It turns them on. They like the product. They're going to talk to other people about the product. So by selling the product and by being product-centric, you can go a long ways. But what about selling the opportunity and the lifestyle? Well, we've already said that selling wealth by means of Healy opportunity really is the second core market. And once they get turned on to the product, and the 94 to 96% are excited about it and want to share it, all of a sudden the opportunity is an easy sell. Let's go back to the 2 Healy markets. You're selling health by means of the Healy products. You're selling wealth by means of the Healy opportunity. And we're going to focus on health first. It's such a huge market that you've got to identify sub-markets or sub-audiences. And I just picked 4 here out of health. You can pick your own 4, your own 10, whatever you want to do. But the ones I looked at that just came right off the top of my head were alternative health, fitness, weight loss, and stress management. And interestingly enough, those are all things that Healy can address. But even those are huge. The fitness market is huge. The alternative health market is huge. Weight loss is huge. Stress management is huge. So what you actually have to do is to take it one step further and to find what are called niches. Some people call them sub-niches. And they're little parts of, in this case, fitness. What's some little part of fitness that you want to address? And the trick here is to find the niche that really excites you. Maybe you're into long distance running. Maybe that's the niche that excites you. Maybe you're into pole vaulting. Maybe that's the niche that excites you. The thing to do is to find the thing that excites you, find the thing that Healy can be applied to within that niche, and then go out and market it. You're going to be excited about it, and people are going to get that excitement from you, and your personal story is what's going to make them want to buy a Healy. So what you've got to do in coming up with your niche is to discover your perfect target audience. Who do you want to talk to? If you had the ideal person that you could talk to and sell a Healy, who would that be? We're going to show you how to begin to find that. Let's take a look at what the essential marketing and sales process is. It's really pretty basic. You've got to determine what your target audience wants. It's not about what you want, it's about what they want. So you've got to know that before you can sell anything. Once you know that, then you can go into the rest of the sales process. And that's to make them a promise about how your product, how you and your special offer can deliver what they want. If they want better fitness, it's about how you and the Healy can deliver that fitness in a way that nobody else can. Then you've got to make them an offer. What do they have to give you in order to get what you're going to give them in order to fulfill the promise? So you might say, if you buy a Healy Resonance, that's going to make you more fit. Maybe they don't need a resonance. Maybe that's not the best thing. You need to figure that out. Whatever it is, you say, you give me this much money, and I'm going to give you these things that I promise you, and that's going to make you get what you want. And finally, you have to be able to deliver. Now, deliver doesn't mean just getting the Healy product to them. It's delivering on all the promises that you made too. If you sell them an opportunity and you promise them training, you've got to get them the training. And the key here is that you've got to guarantee their satisfaction. Because if they're not satisfied, that is going to get around so fast, it's going to scare you. If they are satisfied, they'll bring more and more and more people to you. Putting it in the context that we've been talking about, you've really got to take in your promise and your offer and deliver your unique offer, which is at a higher value. That doesn't necessarily mean monetary value, but it's at a higher perceived value than just the Healy product and the Healy offer by themselves, and convey that unique offer through an engagement with them. By multiple conversations, by multiple telephone calls, by sending them messages on the internet, by whatever. You've got to engage with them and convince them that you are a believable person and that you've got something to give them and that you will deliver. Within the context of Healy, you're really looking, first of all, at having a product offer. So you've got to know at a product level what interests people, what you're going to promise them to deliver on the interest of what they want, the offer that you're going to make, and how that's going to be delivered. After you do that, Then you can start talking to them about the opportunity. And that's an entirely new sales process. You've got to know, what do they want when it comes to an opportunity? Do they want to make their car payment, or do they want a Learjet? You got to know. And then how do you promise them that they're going to get that? And what offer do you make them? And how are you going to deliver on that offer? After you're done with that, then you talk about lifestyle. What do they want? What's the lifestyle that they want? Do they want to be so physically fit that they can run the triathlon? If that's what they want, how do you promise that that's what you're going to give them? What's the offer that you're going to make? And what's the delivery that you're going to give? So you can see that you're going through 3 different sales processes: product, opportunity, and lifestyle. And you've got to finish the sales process in one before you go to the next, and before you go to the next. And you can only address one audience at a time. The product audience, sales offer. The opportunity audience, sales offer. The lifestyle audience, sales offer. And the thing about it is that the size of the audience diminishes as you step through this process. You'll have the most people interested in the product. Out of that group, you'll have a smaller group interested in the opportunity. And out of that group, you'll have a smaller group interested in the lifestyle. But the thing that's interesting about it is that as the size of the target audience reduces, the amount of money they're willing to spend increases. So you actually end up making more money from the opportunity than from the product, and more money from the lifestyle than you do from the opportunity. Now, what is all of this called? This is a sales funnel. And you've probably heard sales funnels before. Well, what is a sales funnel? Let me define it for you. A sales funnel is a planned sequence of events that step your target audience through a sequence of purchases. So the first key here is a planned sequence of events. You don't just shoot from the hip. You plan it out. This is step 1. This is step 2. This is step 3. And those events step your target audience through a sequence of purchases. So first they purchase the product, then they buy into the sales opportunity, then they buy into the lifestyle opportunity. But all of that's planned out. You know exactly how you're going to step them through it. And that's true whether you talk to them face to face or you do it through the internet. It's got to be a planned sequence of events. If you think you can go out and make a whole lot of money just by going out and talking to people without having that planned sequence of events, you're wrong. It isn't going to happen. You need to plan out, this is what I'm going to do to sell them the product. This is what I'm going to do to sell them the opportunity. This is what I'm going to do to sell them the lifestyle. And the key to really making this work is to let your target audience make your sales funnel for you. Now, what does that mean? That means that you adjust your sales funnel, first of all, by addressing what your target market wants. What do they want when it comes to a product? What are they trying to achieve? So, we've said already, it's with health. What health objective are they trying to achieve? Not what watch do they want to buy, not what Healy product do they want to buy. What health objective are they trying to achieve? Sell it to them. Then, what wealth product do they want to achieve? How are you going to sell it to them? Then, what lifestyle do they want to achieve? How are you going to sell it to them? You've got to know what they want. And once you know what they want, and once you start getting people and start talking to people. Let them tell you. Ask them, what do you want? There's a very interesting story about a fellow who was in college, and he was given an assignment in one of his classes to come up with a business. So what he did is he went around the campus and said, well, what food do you wish you had that you don't have now on the campus? It turns out that people wanted empanadas. Then he went and he said, okay, what kind of empanadas do you want? And they told him. Then he said, okay, well, what do you want to be able to have with those empanadas? And they said, well, we'd like French fries and Coke. So he actually created a business, and it was very successful, but he had let his target market tell him entirely what they wanted, and then he just delivered it. If you have a fixed idea in your mind about what your target wants, that's a recipe for not succeeding. You've got to know who your target audience is, and you've got to know what they want. So, discover your niche and target audience. And there are some ways you can do that. One is by using a tool called the Google Keyword Planner. And you use that to see what people are currently looking for on the internet. Another thing is Google itself. Look to see what people are actually finding on the internet and what advertising is being done. Bing is just like Google. It's Microsoft's version of Google. So it's another way of discovering what people are finding and what people are advertising. There's a little miraculous thing here about advertising. If other people are not already advertising what you're thinking about selling, then probably you ought to not be selling it. Because guess what? You're not the smartest person in the world. If there are 2 or 3 people advertising, then you can get market share and you can make money. If nobody's advertising, then the chances are that somebody else already thought of it, tried it, and it didn't work. There's another tool called Google Trends, and you can see if the market direction is going up or down. Okay, are more people looking for what you want to sell now than they were a year ago? Or are fewer people looking? If it's trending down, you probably don't want to start it. If it's trending up, you probably do want to start it. You can look on Amazon to see what people are actually buying. That's what they're willing to put their money down for, spend their credit card, and buy something. You can go into the Facebook ad library and see what competitors are actually doing when it comes to advertising on Facebook. These are all tools that you can use to begin to see what your market is all about, what your target audience is looking for, what they're finding, what they're buying, all of that kind of thing. Now, we're going to show you each one of those tools and how to use them in the next video. But the key here is to learn how your target audience talks with each other. What are the words that they use? Because you want to be able to talk to them like they talk to each other. You want to know what keywords do they use. And here we're not talking about search keywords. It's talking about what phrases do they use. What's common? What does a person who's interested in fitness say to another person who's interested in fitness? Keywords and phrases. What desires do they have? What do they want? What are they looking for in life? You got to know this stuff. What payoffs do they want? What do they want to get as a consequence of buying things? If they put out an effort, if they do something, what do they want back? What problems do they have? What problems need solving? What are the roadblocks they have to getting what they want? What questions do they have? What do they want to find out about? Those are the things that you need to know about your key audience in order to be able to talk to them and shape your offer so that it's something they relate to. Because remember, it's about them, it's not about you. So what we're going to have you do is fill in what we call your target audience avatar worksheet. We'll show you that in the next video. And we want you to find your perfect customer. You've got to be able to answer what a good value is for your perfect customer. Now here we're not talking about price, but what do they consider to be valuable? What is it that you can offer to them that they will say, yes, that's valuable to me? And then once you know that, what are they willing to pay for it? So it isn't about you can get a Healy Gold for $500 and you can get a Healy Resonance for $2,500. It's about what health objective do you want and that you would consider to be a good value. So for them, let's say they want to lose weight. For them, that's a good value if they lose weight. It's a great value. And once you know that, once you know what's valuable to them, then what are they willing to pay for it? When it comes to weight, people would pay $2,500 all day long for something that would make them lose weight. They're doing that with things like Nutrisystem, spending $300 to $400 a month. So you've got to know what's of value to your customers and what are they willing to pay. And that will help shape your audience. And what I want you to do is then to fill out what we call the avatar. So here is an avatar. I just created this. This is someone who's interested in wellness and health, and her name is Marion. She's 50 years old. It's not increasing like it was before. Right now she's living on a fixed income, and she's retired with about $60,000 a year. She's married. She has a college education. She has children, but they live away from home. She lives in the city and in the suburbs. She wants to simplify and consolidate her life and get the most out of it as possible. That's what she's interested in. That's her main value. She likes simple things to eat. She likes to prepare food at home. But she's always eaten junk food, and she didn't know how to get out of that. And her main fear in life is that from this point on, it's only downhill. What else can we say about Marion? That Marion has seen her health decline and is facing persistent health challenges, but she dreams of becoming a healthy woman. Or she might be concerned about her spouse. Currently, Marion's focus is on eliminating health challenges that she already has, and she wants to consistently feel better. She wants to stop waking up every morning worrying about her declining health and wants to keep her husband healthy. And right now, she would be ecstatic if she could get rid of constant pain that she's having and eliminate her immediate health concerns and have more vitality. Right now, Marion is looking for answers to solve her problems in Woman's Health magazine. She follows Christina Anstead, Andrew Weil, Deepak Chopra, Eric Berg, Stephen Gundry, and Doc Orman. But she still needs to figure out some things. She needs to figure out how to stop going through each day feeling poorly. She needs to figure out how to rebuild and regenerate those tissues, like her muscles maybe, and organs that have deteriorated with age. She needs to stop worrying about adverse health conditions associated with aging. Maybe she's worried about getting Parkinson's, and she's obsessing about that. She needs to stop it. She's very frustrated by the fact that traditional medicine hasn't made her feel better. She's really frustrated that she has to take more and more medications. When she was 30, she wasn't taking any. By the time she was 40, she was taking one, and now she's taking 10. And she's really frustrated by the fact that she's constantly having to go to the doctor. But before she can move forward, she needs to get answers to some basic questions. One is, can I look forward to anything with my health? Is there anything I can look forward to? She needs to know, is there any alternative to more medicines and surgery? She needs to know, will I ever start feeling better? She's hung up on a few basic beliefs, a few basic ideas. And those beliefs are, as you age, feeling worse is inevitable. That nothing seems to have really solved her health problems. That it's really confusing to figure out alternatives that really work. That it takes a lot of effort to feel better. She believes there's no hope for her at all. And that she's condemned to a life of suffering, physically and financially. And when the bottom line here is that when all is said and done, Marion just wants to get rid of endless health problems, feel great every morning when she wakes up, and supplement her income. So, to help Marion, I'd invite her to get free information about how to finally get rid of your nagging health problems without more doctors, prescriptions, pills, potion, and surgery, even if you hate exercising and eating a carb-free diet. And I might also invite her to get information about how to finally turn the corner on your health and financial problems without jumping through a lot of hoops. Now, those two last things are what we call hook phrases. The person that I described, would those two things attract her attention? I think yes. So what we want you to do is to build your avatar. And I want you to think about how important it is to have that picture there. Because now you know who you're talking to. If you just look at that picture, it's someone that is about the age that we're looking at, and she doesn't look like she's all that healthy. And when you start constructing your messages, I want you to have that person in mind. Maybe you find 2 or 3 pictures. But I want you to build the profile of the perfect person that you want to talk to. I'm going to show you 2 tools. This is a link to one of them, and it's a way that you can begin to research your perfect person. Don't worry about it for now. I'll show you this in the next video because we're going to do an actual walkthrough on how to do this stuff. But that's one tool. The second tool that you have is a tool that we provided called your avatar worksheet. And that's going to help you answer some basic questions and come out with those avatar profiles that I just told you about. So that's what we're going to do. That's going to be your homework assignment for this week. Figure out your avatar profile the best that you can and know who you're going to talk to. That's it for now. We'll see you in the next video where we show you how to do the research.